Cool. So we're back here in our fifth mode where we're gonna learn about Lumen and how to light our scene to improve the quality. Okay. I left here in the description this file that is the version updated, okay, of our project piano houses so that you can follow me. All right. In case you have some problem there, you can download this version right below. That is the updated version, okay, that we learned in the last class. So download this in the description, okay? So let's access the folder. This is the old name because it's the first file that we created and it was updated, all right? Actually, I typed it wrong, but we're gonna use this, okay? So just download this in the description, okay? And open the file. Let's access our project, Piano House. That is already with the Lumen, okay? All right, so let's get started our project and study Lumen. To do that, we need to have access of the settings of Lumen. Settings of qualities, effects, bouncings. To have access to this information, we need to add a post-production volume. In Unreal Engine, when we talk about quality and effects, it is inside the post-production volume. Let's go create visual effects. Okay, this one here. And we just add it, all right, in the center of the screen. Okay. The post-production volume as the collision volumes, block volumes, the audios, all of them are represented for boxes, okay? What does that mean? That means that everything that is inside this box, things will be applied the effect. Everything that is out of the box will not be applied the effect. For example, let's zoom in a little bit the scale of this box. This lock is closed. It's gonna increase in all the axes. If I uncheck this, that applies just in one axis and not in the others. All right. Where do I want to apply the effects? Or what do I want to improve the quality? Well, the house. So I need to adjust the size of this volume in a way that it gets all the house in all axes. Look at this. I'm going to speed this. I'm going to increase the speed of the camera. I just did it. We can zoom it a little more. We can expand this. Okay. Look. All right. All the house now was involved for this post-production volume. Here in Outliner, it's here, selected. All right. To work in an organized way, let's move to effects. Okay, great. We can close static mesh and we can work with this here. It is selected. Great. Inside the details, we have a lot of things, a lot of parameters. Okay, look at this. Inside here, inside post process volume is where we will control all the things, the qualities, the brightness, saturation, contrast, a lot of things. Okay, effects. All right, all of these are going to be controlled here in the post process volume. And how Unreal is going to understand that? Well, inside the box, what is inside the box will have the effect and the volume applied. What is out of the box will not have this. Let's see it. For example, let's find here, for example, um, global. We can adjust the saturation. Look at this saturation. Let's remove this. All right, let's put it in 0. Oh, that didn't change anything. Let's increase this, the saturation. In theory, it has to be really colored, but it is not changed. Why isn't it changing? Well, because I'm out of the box. Okay, let's get inside of the box. All right, look, inside the box and out of the box. It shows us that everything that is inside of this box has the effect, or outside there is not the effect. Let's expand the box. All right, it's way bigger. Okay, like here. All right, the high as well. Okay, look at this. So everything that is inside the box will have the effect, and everything that is outside of the box will not have the effect. Let's get it back here, the saturation. That is the default. Now let's increase this. Look, let's get back to 1. For example, the contrast. Let's activate this. Let's increase. Let's decrease. Look at this. You see? Let's get back to 1. Okay, so everything inside the box has effect. Everything that is outside, there is no effect. Okay, as we just have the piano house, meanwhile, it makes sense if you leave the box a little more small. Okay, because we don't have the surrounds yet, for example, in the house. So when we have this surroundings, the vegetation, other houses, we can increase the box, expand the box. Let's leave it like this. Okay, and let's leave it like this. That's great. Yeah, that's great. Okay, so as we have effect, let's go to a darker area. Here, for example, as we have the effect as, for example, post-production effect, saturation, contrast, and brightness, it also gives effects with bloom. Okay, we can increase the intensity, or we can decrease the intensity. Look at this. You see? All right, we can change it. And like this, other types of effects. For example, this, I can modify from manual to manual, from automatically to manual, and I can just, for example, this, the exposure. Okay, what is really interesting, we're gonna use this system for a period, which is really good, so that we can control the light. Okay, we can, for example, adjust the camera effects. All right, other effects like here. All right, a lot of different effects about ray tracing, you know, quality. So inside post processing is where I have a lot of different features, adjustments, where I can add or remove effects. I can improve or decrease the quality. All right, I'm gonna finish this class here. Okay, and I'll get back in the next class where we're gonna adjust this Lumen settings. Okay, so let's save it, and I'll be right back. See you. Okay, we're back here. Cool. To talk more about Lumen. All right, how to improve the quality, the settings and adjust the colors. Let's open the level, piano house. Great. So we saw in the last class some things about the post-processing and how to put the post-processing in the scene, where is going to be the area where it's going to act, okay? We saw that outside it doesn't act and inside it acts. Okay, cool. So let's get started. Start to understand how Lumen works. To do that, and to learn how to improve the quality, let's select the post-processing and let's see how are the settings, all right, of the Lumen, where we can find it. Okay, let me see it here. We have global illumination here. By default, it's Lumen. We can check this and we can change, for example, to none. All right. Now we don't have Lumen anymore in the scene. Or screen space. We don't have Lumen in the scene. Or Lumen. Okay, so that we can have Lumen in the scene. This second parameter can control a lot of options of quality. The quality of the bounces, of the noises, okay? Here you have some things, some settings about quality, about speed of propagation of light. And a little down here, it's important for us, the reflections, okay? It's gonna be the type Lumen or screen space, okay? Meanwhile, let's keep it Lumen. Now, my global illumination is a type Lumen, and my reflections are the type Lumen, okay? My scene is very dark. We have the directional light, the sunlight, but even with this, it's dark. Let's increase the exposure. Let's put 20, 10. Yeah, 10 is cool. Great. It's pretty good. Let's change the position of the light. All right. Let's put the like more or less like this. Okay. Look at this. Okay. Like this. We're gonna understand the settings of Lumen, okay? And after we're gonna improve and adjust, and we're gonna adjust things, okay? First, let's learn about the settings, okay? Here it's a dark area, okay? We're gonna understand the settings and how to adjust, okay? Let's talk a little bit about the qualities, how we can adjust the qualities of our project using Lumen. Look, you can see the amount of noise we have in the scene. Look, we have there, here, we have, let's see, some splotches, okay? Let's see here if we can see. Look at this. So let's go here to this dark area. Let's go to the other. Here, let's see this area here. It's good for us to understand. Look, one of the ways to understand the Lumen and get to know how to configure this is to take the division mode to Lumen. Let's go in lit, Lumen scene. Basically, this is the mode that we can see how Lumen is working, okay? How does Lumen work inside Unreal Engine? Well, Lumen basically uses mesh distance field. Lumen transforms the scene in low quality and with a lower resolution so that it can generate in real time the GIs and the bouncings. If it was going to do this with a high resolution, the cost for the GPU would be really high. That's why it transforms everything in a lower resolution, okay? So that it can be able to receive and emit the GI. And more important is that it considers, besides the area that the object occupies, the color that this object has. Here we have the geometry in walls. It takes this geometry and emits this shade, okay? Same thing here. However, we have some areas that are in dark like this. These areas in dark, it means that it is receiving the GI, but it is not emitting, okay? Okay. It received, but it's not gonna emit. All right, same thing here. And that isn't a good thing. So what can we do? What can we realize? Well, there are objects in this scene that we need to adjust, okay? Probably take to the 3D Studio Max and discover the reason these elements are not emitting the GI, okay? If it's not emitting the GI, it will not favor realism, okay? Because in the real world, all the elements receive and emit the global illumination, receives the directional light and emits this as indirect light, okay? So let's keep that in mind. We need to take this file to 3ds Max and we need to try to understand the reason it's not working. Would it be because of the materials? Well, I don't think so. Let's take a white material here and let's apply it. Look, it keeps being dark. All right, it's not emitting the GI. All right, so we need to take to the max and we need to find out the reason, okay? The sink is receiving and emitting, all right? However, there are some phases here that are not, and we need to find out the reason. Here, it is receiving and emitting. The sofa, the black couch, great. It's receiving and emitting. Okay, this one here, receiving and emitting. The two armchairs. I don't know if it's because it's our. Let's see. Yeah, it's receiving and emitting. Great. Cool. Let's see the piano. Receiving and emitting. Cool. Yeah, great. Let's see this wall here. All right, it's already white. So we have some problem here. Probably a normal, okay, that we have to repair. Maybe it is inverted. Let me press 8. Let me see. The bathtub is receiving and emitting. Yeah. I'm gonna press 8. Okay. And 8 here to hide the element and to be able to see inside here. Here we have these elements. Let me see. Maybe they are receiving and emitting. I don't know. Okay. Cool. All right. Nice. That's good. That's good. This armchair, let me see. All right. Yeah, it's emitting, receiving, and emitting. Yeah. Great. So, okay, guys. First thing that we can do and we need to do is to improve the quality of these receipts in these rebates, these bouncings, these emissions of light. Improve the quality of looming. How can we do that? Go here, post process, go here, global illumination, looming. Inside looming, we have here looming global illumination, where we can adjust the quality of the looming. For example, in this first, we can adjust the quality of the looming. All right. Higher values are gonna bring more fidelity to the calculation. and also improve the quality of the reflections. Let's increase this parameter. Let's increase here. First, let's decrease. Let's put 0. The minimum is 0.25. 4, we can see. 8, we improved a little bit. However, they cost for the GPU. Okay, let me show you the frames per second. 0, 8. Let's try 16. 8. So the maximum we can go from 1 to 8. Obviously, we're going to decrease this value to get a balance, okay, between quality and performance. This parameter is going to control the quality of the light bounce. The second parameter is going to control the quality of looming for small objects. The higher this value, the more small objects receive and emit the eye. Obviously, if I go really high, this value, I'm gonna have a really high cost for the GPU. For example, let's increase. Look, let me open a parenthesis. You realized that basically there was no change. All right, this parameter in this scene specifically didn't change anything because we don't have small objects here to receive influence from looming. And GI, for example, as vegetation. In the foliage class, we're gonna add vegetations, and this parameter is gonna affect that. But I tested a scene that we're gonna see in the next module where I increase and decrease the parameter with small objects in the scene. Let me show it to you, this parameter increasing and decreasing, so that you can realize that the shadow of contact, the shadow that is generated by the mesh distance field, is gonna work as I increase or decrease this parameter. Let me show it to you. Let's see these small objects. Let's test then. Look at this. Look. For these small objects, it brings an improvement. So we have 0.25, and let's see if it's gonna improve. If I change it, or we can see some improvements. Let's see 8. 4 is the maximum, I guess. Okay, so this one you can get more light bouncings and more shadows, good shadows for small objects. For example, vegetation or grass, you can improve with this parameter, okay? This parameter controls the distance that you see the looming happening, like more distant objects. For example, what is the distance that I want the looming to affect the objects? For example, you have these numbers here, like 2,000 centimeters, 200,000. Okay, you can change it here. In theory, this value is gonna control that. But I did some tests and I didn't see any difference, okay? Maybe if it was in a big scene. Okay, I'm gonna keep testing to see what's happening. Next parameter, final gather quality. This parameter here is gonna help us to decrease the noises of our scene. Let's go to this area here that I believe that we can identify some noises here. Let's move our light, our sunlight. Let's spin it. Let's rotate this. Let's try to bring it here. Okay, the sunset. I think here we have. Okay, let's get back to lit. Look, here we can realize that we have some noises. Okay, look, we have some noises here, as you can see. Let's go post process and let's increase or decrease the final gather? We have more noises, 0, 4, it tries to remove. Obviously we have a limit here. I'm going to show you another place where we can try to improve this. 4, 0, 4, 0, 4, 0. Look, in 0 we have more noises there. 4, 16, yeah, we got it. We improved it a little bit. Look, we have less noises here, but that's gonna increase the cost in the GPU. We have a limit of render. Let's try 32. Nothing. Let's try 16. Nothing. Let's try 8. That doesn't change anything. 0. 16. 0. 1. 16. 1. You see? Let's see from 16 to 8. I don't see any difference. So 8 is our limit. 4 is bad. 8 is good. All right. So here it helps to take it out, the noises of the Lumen. And this last parameter is going to control the distance that Lumen is going to interact and adjust the object, and it's going to try to remove the leaks. Let's decrease this parameter. 1, 2, 10, 50, 100, 1000, 10,000, 200,000. Okay. I think the default value is 20,000. Okay, we are improving a little bit the quality of our Lumen. Look at this. We don't see a lot of spots in our scene. Okay, let's get it back to Lumen scene. Look at this. We're improving. All right, the quality of the light bouncing, definition of the objects. We can improve it more. However, for now, let's just try to correct this in these elements here in post-process. Let's get back to lit. Great. All right, cool. Light bouncing there. Okay. Great. Here we have some leaks. And here, okay. That's okay. Cool here, yeah, light bouncing there. Here it's considering the image, that wooden panel. Okay, great. I'll go down here. We have the reflections, the method of the type Lumen, and we can improve or we can decrease the quality. By default is 1. Let's put 4 or 8. That's gonna help us to improve the quality on the reflections. Okay. For now, we're not talking about reflections yet, but that's the place to adjust. All right, another parameter that is really important in Unreal Engine, mainly depending on your DPU and the level of scalability in your Unreal Engine. Is it using and defining the quality of your scene in the maximum, in the medium, or a lower quality? How is it? How can we do that? We go to settings, we go here, engine. All right, by default it identifies our GPU and it brought the quality for epic. Okay, so what is it saying? That the view distance, when we talk about quality, it is using epic, the anti-aliasing epic as well, epic as well, epic as well. You can adjust some of them depending on your necessity, okay, and also depending on your graphics card. For example, anti-aliasing, look, low, it brings saturation on the object. Look at this, low, epic, low, epic. For example, the textures, quality low and quality epic. Low, epic. You see? Look at this, epic, low, epic. For example, let's hit here, everyone medium, everyone height, everyone epic. Look at this. I have here a huge difference here. Let's go to that area where we have a lot of noise. Let's see the scalability, how it behaves here. The noise is here, medium. It takes it off, the bouncing, the high, epic. Look at this. It has improved the shadow here. High, epic. Let's say cinematic. Look, we have more definition here. Epic, cinematic. Let's go and see in our scene, in the main scene. Okay, let's look at this. Shadow, scalability, epic, cinematic, epic, cinematic. It doesn't look like it has changed a lot, but let's test it. Let's erase the directional light. Okay, our scene is dark now. The only thing that is using to light is our sky. And here, let's add a light, a rectangular light. Look, we're putting a rectangular light here. Let's adjust the parameters. It's a good tip so that we can realize this change in the quality. Let's decrease a little bit the intensity for 2 or 1. I think 2 is cool. Yeah. Look, almost like a studio. Look at this. It's cool here. Let's copy this light. All right. Let's put it here, right here. Let's rotate a little bit, almost like a studio, so that we can see this improvement of the quality or not of the objects. Let's leave it a little more weak. Let's change the temperature as well. Let's leave it more blue here, okay, and the other one warmer, so that we can test it. The qualities and how much these things influence in our project. Let's add a light now. Point light. Oops, it didn't add. Create light, point light. It put inside the. I'm behind the wall, so let's do it again. Point light. Okay, we're here. Let me put it here, and let's decrease the intensity. Okay, for 2. Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Pay attention that our FPS is decreasing a lot. Has decreased a lot because we have a lot of things here happening in real time, and also I have high qualities here, and most important in settings, the scalability is in cinematic. That is the highest one. Let's change it to epic. You're gonna see that the FPS are gonna increase. We got back 90 FPS. However, you're going to realize that the shadow isn't that good, like really define it, okay? For example, look at this. Epic. Look at this, epic. You can realize here the noise, mainly here, without noise, with noise, without noise, with noise. Okay? Let's make this shadow less harsh. I like a more diffused light, like a V-ray light or a light that is bigger and generates a more diffused shadow. Let's go here in source. Look at this. It is letting our shadow more diffuse. Okay? Let's erase this light and let's leave the other lights diffuse as well. Like this, a little more diffuse. This one as well. We put it stronger with 2 of intensity. Okay, cool. And let's get back our point light that is helping us to illuminate. Look, all the shadows now are more diffused. Let's leave it more diffuse as well. This light, okay, a little more diffuse or less. It's cool. Yeah, it's cool like that. Great. Let's see there the scalability. Settings. Scalability, cinematic. Do you realize that? It's better, right? Epic, cinematic. Epic, cinematic. Okay? With this, my FPS is like 30, okay? But remember, I'm with a RTX 3080. If you have a stronger graphics card, you can improve more the quality. You can increase the quality. In case you have a weak graphics card, you can decrease the quality. For example, you can increase a little bit the quality, saying to Unreal Engine to transform the scene like a upscaling of our screen. Look at this. What I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna increase the percentage of the screen. We're gonna have pixels more defined. For example, 160. Look, you can realize now that I have more defined pixels. Okay, a great image, it's more defined, but you see that my FPS is lower. Okay, my project is heavier to process. My project it's hard. Okay, 15 frames per second. Okay, and now there's the work to do the optimization. You go to post process and try to decrease maybe the quality of the lumen, increase the scalability until you get a balance between quality of your scene and quality of the lumen. For example, let's decrease here for 2. We almost didn't get any difference on the frames, so okay. Let's think about the details of the objects. 1, almost anything, almost nothing. We didn't get more FPS, so let's see it here. Oops, yeah. Here we got, we gained some FPS. Look at this. Let's see it here. Look, here it looks like we don't have a lot of difference when we see this. But look how these settings of scalability with the Lumen settings that helped us to have more quality. Okay, because now we're not seeing those splotches anymore. Let's get back to weight. Let's transform in a scene of the type Lumen. 1, 0, 8. Okay, so when we talk about noises, this parameter almost doesn't have effect with the screen 160. Let's get back to 100 to see if we have noises in our scene. No, because the scalability is in cinematic. Let's put epic. Look, now we have a little bit of noise. Let's decrease to 0, 8, 0, 8, 0, 1, 8, 1, 8, 1. Look at this. I think 4, 1, 4. Maybe you cannot realize there, but here I can realize a little bit the difference. So we can leave it like in 2. What are we doing here? We are balancing 3 parameters basically to get more quality. Okay, we are balancing the qualities of the lumen with the scalability of our engine, with the amount of percentage my screen has. Okay, if I increase this value, it decreases the size of the pixels to have more definition. If I decrease this value, that's going to increase the size of the pixels and decrease the definition. So you have to keep in mind that everything here is interconnected. If you decrease the size of your screen, the percentage of your screen, it's interesting if you increase the scalability to cinematic, okay, to try in some way to compensate the noise that will appear. Okay, if you want to decrease, for example, the scalability, you go here, epic, and you increase a little bit to 100 or 120, and you increase a little bit the quality to try to reduce the noises. Okay, so we're gonna use these 3 parameters basically to find the balance. Okay, so what I advise you to do, well, while we are working, creating your project, developing, doing, you can decrease, for example, the scalability to epic, so that you can get more FPS. All right, and you can work, you can create your scene and improve the quality of things. When you're going to render the video or export the video, do the renders, you can increase the quality of your project. For example, cinematic here, 160 here, or 180. For example, post process here, you can put 4 here, 4 for example. Okay, this way you're gonna have lower FPS, but in your desktop, in your work area, that doesn't matter. Okay, so it's really interesting if you do it. Look at this. With this level of definition, we have basically, without doing anything with the reflection materials or anything like that, just in the quality of our lumen, here in post process, quality of our Unreal, in the scalability, and in the definition of our scene. Okay, decreasing the size of the pixels to get more definition. Doing these few things here, we can have this high quality image. For example, if I decrease here to 50 millimeters more or less, look at this. We can see that we have a project really beautiful. Okay, look how cool is this. Yeah, with a lot of quality, high quality, and we didn't do anything about materials, about reflections, about light. Okay, we didn't configure the project. We're just adjusting or increasing or decreasing the quality. Okay, look at this. That's beautiful, right? Okay, let's see that light. Let's erase this light. Look at this. Cool. This light here, drag it here. Look at this. Look at this, okay? So basically, we found three places to work the quality of my image regard to realism, okay? The realism, we will get the materials, the reflections, the light bouncings. We're gonna learn how to increase, decrease the light bouncing in the exhibition, in the camera effects, okay? Let's return our direct light. Look, the looming is back. Let me change here, okay, so that we can see. Look at this, it's cool here. Look, increasing the qualities, we solved the leaks. Look, okay, let's go inside. Okay, epic, cinematic. Okay, cool. Okay, let's see our main room. That is the in front of the house. Okay, let's see here in our main room. Okay, yeah, very good, very good. All right, pretty cool. So, all right, we're gonna finish this class here. We're gonna stop this class here. I'm gonna keep the scalability in cinematic. However, I'm gonna compensate this quality here, decreasing the percentage of screen, okay? Look, if I put 160, 40 frames, and if we put 100, okay? Another thing that I think we can do to work is to decrease the quality of the noise. Okay, we are almost in 90. Let me try it here. Let's see here. So here it doesn't really matter. We are in cinematic. Okay, let's see the quality of the reflections. It didn't change a lot. So okay, let's go here, scalability, cinematic. I have 90 FPS. If I go to epic, we are more than 120. All right, let's see. It's not that different. So we can live, for example, in epic, and after we can get it back to cinematic, and we can change between them while developing our project. Look at this, we see some noise there. Let's get it back to our post process, and let's try to take it off this noise here. Look at this. Yeah, with 8 the noise is gone. All right, and we didn't lose a lot of frames. Let's test this. 8. I think we can keep 8, okay? So I'm gonna close this class where we learned about how to adjust the quality on the image. However, there are other ways to improve the quality of the image even more. We'll see this during the course, okay? But I'm gonna finish this class. I'm gonna close this class, and next class we're gonna talk about light bouncing. See you. Great, so let's talk a little bit about the bouncing, as we can increase or decrease the amount of bouncings of our scene. Don't worry, meanwhile, that we didn't get the realism yet. We are not working physically in a correct form, but don't worry about it now, okay? We are learning the concepts yet. All right, how to adjust the quality, to improve that, to improve this. Okay, replace one thing with another. So let's focus now on the concepts, and after we can get started, we can, work with the realism, the materials, reflections, to get into the quality that we want. But it's really important to know the concepts, okay, so that we can adapt to this knowledge to any other engine of games, okay. Let's talk about bounces. Bounces is what happens in the real world. For example, if we talk about the sunlight, the bouncing is a natural process that happens with the light when it gets contact with the surface. For example, the light, it comes here, hits here, and goes here to the infinite. Okay. If we, for example, have a room, the natural light, let's rotate our light here, and the natural light goes to this direction. In the real world, what happens? Well, it comes here, hits here, and hits here. Okay. But as it has a surface, it's gonna be doing this, and that's the bouncing. That's the bounce. Okay. So look at this. Let's take. Can you realize the shadow behind the piano? The light hits here, and it's generating this light here, and also this shadow. For example, if I go here, Google, global illumination, 3D. Look at this. What is the global illumination of 3D? Well, these bouncings, they are basically here. That's it. Like we can see, let's see another reference, a better one. Okay, that can be this one. What's happening here? Well, we have a light here, basically. This wall is red and this wall is blue. You can realize that this area of the sphere, this sphere is white, but you see this red here, okay, and you see blue here, all right, and this sphere is white as well, and you can see it's red here, and the floor is white and blue here. Why? What's happening here? Well, the GI, the global illumination, is happening and it's being bounced, okay, here and bounced here like this, you see, and the light is doing this movement until it stops bouncing, okay, like this, like this, like this, and you see that the sphere is white, so the floor is white. The blue is same thing. The light does these movements, and that's what we call bouncing, all right? The natural behavior of the light, okay? Also for artificial light, all right? Also for colors, everything the real world has this bouncing. All the elements of the nature have this bouncing, okay? Part of this light is observed and part of this light is bounced. It is also related to the type of surface of the object. A glass will have almost no light bounce, depending on the opacity of this glass, depending how translucent is this glass. So it's directly connected to the type of material, type of the surface, and also to the bounce. Inside the 3D is also like that. This has to be our goal and our thoughts, okay? How to play in 3D things physically correct. How to transcribe in digital form what happens in the real world. How to create surfaces that can absorb a little the light and bounce the light. How to create materials that can do this bouncing. How to increase or decrease these bouncings. Okay? Talking specifically about looming, we can increase or decrease the bounces, okay, from the light in the directional light and in the skylight. To do that in the directional light, we're gonna go here, directional light, close to intensity. Here in our case is in 10. We can increase the intensity of the light, the directional light. Look, we can increase the intensity of the indirect light. For example, let's put 10 here. Look at this. It spreads more the light. Let's go to darker areas of our project. For example, let me see this area. We have these artificial lights. I think they're gonna bother us, but here it's closed. Let's concentrate here. Look at this. Let's decrease to 1. 10. You got it? 50. Look at this. We increased and decreased the intensity. We can do that of the indirect light. Obviously, that can be kind of false or realistic, okay? So the challenge is to find the exactly value that is going to be more realistic, like more like the real world. If I increase a lot this value, my scene is gonna be weird. If I decrease a lot this value, my scene is gonna lose a little bit of bouncing, and I have shades really dark in my scene. Let's put, for example, 5. I think it's a good value. Meanwhile, okay, let's try to adjust our skylight. In skylight, we also have indirect light. However, it doesn't affect, different from the direct light, that we can adjust the intensity of the direct light. Basically, we adjusting the intensity of the light. Okay, so the intensity of the sky. Look, let's go here. By default is 1 for 100, for 50. Okay, 1, 20, 50. 1, 50. It has increased the amount of direct light. You can compensate this, for example, decreasing the exposure of the camera in post-process. Exposure, for example, let's get it to 1. Very, very dark. 5, 8. Look at this. 8 looks nice, yeah. However, the sky is there is with a different shade. It's more dark. It means that we are starting to lose control. So what can we do? We can get it back to 10 intensity, and slow we can adjust this parameter. 50 is a lot. Let's try 2, and 2 here in the light, indirect light. It's really dark, so yeah, let's put 10. Mm, let's put 5. Look, 5 looks great. Looks cool. Yeah, looks good. Or 3. 3. Mm, I think 5 is cool. However, we have that light very strong there. Let's try to decrease the intensity of that. Okay. So with these parameters, we adjusted the intensity of the indirect light. In sky, you're gonna adjust directly the intensity of sky. But remember, it's not that cool to increase this value a lot because it starts getting fake. Because your scene is very illuminated, but your sky is very dark. So let's put 2, for example. All right, the directional light as well. The intensity we chose 5, and the intensity of the direct light also 5. Obviously, there's a limit between you getting a realistic aspect and to getting to an aspect not that realistic. And that we're gonna be able to identify using references. Okay, that's why we put the references here for you. Okay, so that we can use this in the visual form. Try to find the better values, okay, of the bounces and also the photorealistic lining. Okay, we will be seeing this during the entire course, during the entire process. Meanwhile, let's just learn the concepts. In the next classes, we're gonna work everything of this at the same time: quality, bounce, noises, decrease noise, explosions, and all of this. Okay, we're gonna work all of this at the same time. So first, let's learn the concepts, how to adjust the things, and we're gonna get better, okay, to get our result. So let's finish this class, because next class we're gonna talk about reflections of the type looming. See you.